It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw, Watson. He hits White, complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd down. 46 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. And they'll run it here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Watson. And he hits Herndon over the middle. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chris Herndon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Newton. And Jeffrey's got it. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 50, Newton. Being chased out left. Sharks got it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Newton on third down. And Tate's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And now Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. From the red zone now, Newton. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on second down is Newton. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Space to maneuver at the 40. Fights through, and now a crease. The 30. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They go play action here on first down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Now Newton on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
From the 50, it's Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Bobby Wagner. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on second is Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Chris Herndon with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jets are going to take the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Over the middle, complete. That's Tate. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Here's Newton now on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Off play action, Newton. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And the hit jarred it loose.
This allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. DJ Chark with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And New York set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Matt Bosher now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
They fake the give. Newton. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jets have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On first down, it's Watson. Herndon's got it complete. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Bobby Wagner in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On 1st and 10, Newton.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Newton to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly.
He's got a man. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown. New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw is Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've reached. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And, we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. They'll go again to Jones. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Newton. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. From the 50, Newton. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Saints on 3rd down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This will be 3rd and 6. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, It's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now Newton steps away to his left. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. A good pickup there at 22.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Out of the gun, Newton. And this is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
To the air again, Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Here we go on 4th. Newton. And it's caught. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And they'll go on the ground. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they'll run it here across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watson looking sideline, incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Past the 20. Open man right side is Shark. A gain of 32 that time. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Back to throw, Newton. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And he works free. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 34 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
But he was stopped on that play. We had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. Here's Watson now on second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
On second and 10, Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And that is incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for a squad.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Jones. That one 28 yards on the ground. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that. Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now. Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Elsewhere across the league, 4th quarter action in Los Angeles. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. Now Watson, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The give is to Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be second down. And he'll spike it here with 13 seconds showing on the clock. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Here's Watson on third down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge.
This is caught inside the 15. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel